Alright, what's up y'all, LakerFan here. As looks about how today's video, here to talk about things nobody wants you to know on defense in NBA 2K23. So, as you can see, there are going to be a couple clips from Season 2 playing. I will have a lot of Season 3 clips as well, a lot more recent. But what I want to showcase in today's video is a variety of things, from controller settings to on-ball defense, to shot blocking, to bump steals, to passing lanes, to off-ball defense, all types of stuff. So, I hope y'all enjoy, and if you do, for to drop a like, sub if you new, turn on noties, all that good stuff, and like always, try to win to 2,000 likes. So we're going to start off with on-ball defense. I want to talk about this first and foremost because it is actually what I think is the best clips and the most informative to you guys. I will say it's going to be a little bit more quote-unquote boring. This is going to be for a lot of the film junkies and stuff like that. You guys want the best tips and explanation as to how to play a one-on-one defense, two-on-two defense, pro-am, all types of stuff like that. We're talking about on-ball D first and foremost. So as you can see, we're really doing a lot more of jump shot baiting than I would say a lot of the people in this general game do. My problem with defense in this game, what I don't like seeing other players do very often, is what they do is they overplay the mess out of their three-point line. They play that three-point line way too heavy, let people get constant quick drops and dunks off all over the place. And as you can see, I do a lot of sagging off on defense. I bait jump shots a lot and try and get them into those jump shot animations. Now, here's my whole point of this. When you're playing 1v1, 2v2, even 3v3, personally, I would rather have the offensive player beat me by shooting the ball every time versus them getting a wide open quick drop where I'm playing way too high and can't get a chase down. That is my problem with defense in this game, and that is the problem that you have to overcome as well. So with that comes playing off a little bit more, gapping your defender, and boom, you can just lead them into these situations they think they have a dunk. And again, you can see I'm baiting the jump shots, I'm stepping up. Another thing that I want to talk about too is people's lack of mid-range shooting in this game. A lot of people in this game upgrade their three-pointer and the three-pointer only. When they are in situations like this, you do not have to respect that hop back quite as much. Same as where he was just standing before the hop back as well. I don't respect people's mid-range shot. One, for the reason of it's a less valuable shot. It's obviously a two-point shot over a three. Two, again, they generally have a lower mid-range than they do three-pointer, and overall they probably just feel less comfortable taking those shots. So I don't respect that stuff as much. I'm playing way off on mid-ranges. I'm still playing off in general, making other people shoot the ball, and again, you're going to see a lot of that. I want to also talk real quick about defending people when they have no adrenaline. So as you can see, when you see this right here, for any new players to the game, when you see that little fumble animation, you know they are dead meat. They are dead in the water. They cannot dribble anymore very efficiently. Problem is though, they can still get, I would say, like stopping, not really stop and goes, but they can still sprint to the basket. They can still do moving downhill dribble moves and stuff like that. And on top of that too, it does not impact their shooting at all. That is only stamina that impacts people's shooting. Adrenaline means absolutely nothing to shooting the ball. So the last thing you want to do when someone is out of adrenaline is just back all the way up into the paint or something as if you think they just can't shoot the ball because they're out of adrenaline. That is not the case. When you see those animations right there of the one where he picks the ball up right like this, it is not stamina. That is adrenaline. He still has plenty of stamina left right here. So what you want to do, you want to keep yourself at about an arm's length. What generally people will do is they will shoot the ball if they have low adrenaline, because a lot of people will just back up off them entirely and give them the free open jump shots. You also do not want to overplay them way too hard, because if you give them a lane to the hoop where they can just get an easy sprint, they're going to go ahead and take that. And I mean, to be fair, I generally advocate for this type of defense in general. You can see it's the first play of the game against this guy right here. Same exactly what I'm talking about. He goes for that hop back. He's going to go for a little run back as well. Now, as you can see, I am quite a ways off of him in this situation. Now, this may depend on your build. If you don't have great challenger or great perimeter defense just in general, you may struggle to add these a little bit more to where you may have to jump at them in these exact situations. But no matter what your build is, you do not want to get rim ran all game. You don't want to give up free, easy dunks that require no timing at all. Most people don't use their meter, and if they do, it's generally unnecessary because, again, most people can just shoot the ball in this game. So what you don't want to do is give people wide open, easy dunks every single play. Again, you can see I'm baiting the jump shots. This is the perfect way to play defense against people, whether it's ones, twos, anything like that. You do not want to give them free, easy dunks all game. Doing the exact same thing here, baiting the jump shots. He can shoot that hop back stuff all he wants from that far as well. I think knowing positional like areas of the court and stuff too is pretty easy to know. So most people, whether their hop back is like, and by the way, it's about size up escape as far as what their hop back animation is. So whether it's KD, LeBron, John Wall, anything like that, you can generally estimate about how much area they are going to hop back when they do that animation. And generally, if they're doing it from around right here, they're going to be way too far to shoot the ball. This is not a reason reasonable like range to shoot the ball for a lot of people in this game. I do understand, yes, gold limitless can still hit from here, plenty doably, but I will live with these jump shots all day. I will let people shoot that. As you can see, he is not comfortable with it. He's trying to inch forward and get his jump shot. Now he's trying to just once again rim run. We ain't giving up any of that stuff, bro. No rim runs around here. No easy like little like BS jump shots like that. And now as you can see, he's going last resort to his jump shot, and now he is tired off the low stamina. He also is just clearly, we know he's looking at this jump shot because he can't get any of his rim run stuff to work. So as you can see, he tries to hit the attack size up on me where he flicks up on his right stick, then does the hop back out of it, and as you can see, we're prepared for all that stuff. So just keep in mind, you want to bait jump shots, get to them late. The 16-15% contests are plenty enough to make people miss in this game. Not even the most elite shooters in the game can hit stuff like that. Getting contests like that one or a contest like this is going to speed up their jump shot on top of that too, so it makes it an unfamiliar timing when you release this. Maybe why he's actually using a meter for that matter as well, so you can see maybe how his timing adjusts based on the contest. I think it's actually more reasonable to use meter this year than any other year, to be honest with you. But nonetheless, that is my explanation on ball defense. Now what I want to talk about as well, this one goes way through the cracks and not many people know about this in this game. So as you can see, my arrow is on this guy right here. Zeke is RBB, I am RBA. So this is the point guard matchup right here. This is their shooting guard matchup. Now, if I want my arrow, and this works for Rec Center, it works for Pro-Am if you do play man. Most people in Pro-Am play zone, and it just boom puts you in like the non-arrow sort of way where everybody faces the half court line. Nonetheless though, if you play Rec Center, you play 3s, 2s, anything like that, you can just hit your right bumper or R1. I know it makes no sense. You're never gonna see people's icons pop up or anything like that. Generally, if you hit LB, it will pop the icons up, but that's not how you're gonna do this. It's not how it works in online modes. You're gonna hit right bumper and hit the icon of the person that you want to switch to. You can see the arrow flips just like that. Now watch this. You're gonna see me do it multiple times this possession. Boom, they hit the screen right here. If they run it back, now I'm on this guy, I'm hitting RBA again. Now I'm back on this, hitting RBB once again. The arrow is gonna flip each time, and if I really wanted to right here, I could hit my RBX and switch onto this guy as well. So all I'm trying to get at is that right bumper or R1 if you're on PlayStation 5, and all of that is going to come full circle and let you just switch on to whoever you want to be. I would really encourage this for Rec Center as well. I don't have a whole lot of clips on it because honestly it's not something I think to record very often, but I did want to get at least that one frame right there to explain to you guys how it works. Now, speaking on the things that correlate a little bit more to settings and just the intricate like IQ things of the game, I'm going to pan over to this real quick. Then we'll talk about off-ball defense and, for instance, chase downs, passing lanes. We'll talk about bump steals after this as well. The video is jam-packed, so I hope y'all enjoy. This is generally one of my best videos and most successful videos because I think a lot of people are interested in stuff like this. And in my opinion, these are a lot of gems dropped in these videos, so I hope you guys do enjoy. So first of all, I want to talk about maybe like just the defensive things. So double team reaction, you want to set this to manual. If you're in man defense and playing Pro-Am, this is going to be a really nice thing to know if you maybe play Rec Center and you play with your full squad. If you and another player are both holding your left bumper, it will get a double team animation. This does not work when you have it set to auto. I am not a fan of it. The auto is just kind of bad if you ask me. If you and your teammate who are double teaming a point guard or an offensive player just in general hold your left bumper or L1, it's going to allow you to get that double team animation. It'll make their passes extremely slow. It'll really screw them up. If you do play man defense in Pro-Am, it's a really good thing to do, but again, not a lot of people do that. I would say it's generally in Pro-Am, like comp Pro-Am, people run zone 24/7 so they can just get their players all to align the right way. Now me personally, I'm a big fan of 0 defensive assist strength, 0 box out assist strength. If you're maybe a taller player that has good rebounding, I love box out on 0. If you're a smaller point guard, I would move this up quite a bit more. It's set to 50 by default, I believe. So honestly, I just say the bigger you are, the less you want this. The smaller you are, the more you want it. Simple as that. If you feel pretty good about your rebounding, I am in these situations sometimes where I am down low and I have 2 people that I could box out. If the box out assist strength is higher, it will move you to that person who is closest to you, and I don't like that. A lot of times as a big man and an offensive rebounder, I like to be able to control who I'm boxing out because if I have my choice between a power forward or a center, I'm trying to lean toward the center so the bigger body isn't untouched on a box out and doesn't get a free board. So putting it on 0 allows me to have a whole lot more control of that. Same with on defense to have way more control. All those clips you just saw were me with 0 defensive assist strength. When I played this game with 50, I felt so slidey, so bad on defense. Moving it to 0 feels so much more responsive and quick. I will say defensive assist strength, the pros to it would probably make you a little bit more bumpy, quote unquote, but we'll talk about plenty of the bump steals and just getting body ups and stuff like that later in this video. I don't believe in defensive strength at all. If you do, more power to you. It's plenty fine. But again, I am a big fan of 0. I don't really take off the shading indicator. I don't really use this a whole lot more, to be honest with you. And you could also, let's say with your pro stick defense, you can flick down on your right stick for steals as well. Not a big fan of it in this year's game. I don't really like that stuff. If you're someone who goes really heavy for pluck steals though with that 99 steel Hall of Fame glove, you could try this out. The right stick on defense in the past has always been extremely good for me as well. Alright, now before we get into this next set of clips where I talk about shot blocking, I want to tell you that I have known this for years now, and I want to convey this information to anybody who is new and doesn't know about this stuff. So there are 3 different modes of going for shot blocks in 2K23. Pressing regular Y button or triangle, as you can see displayed on the controller, it'll just be on wherever your PlayStation controller is, obviously triangle for this situation. But if you just press regular Y, you will get these regular block animations. Now, if we go down to where it says SWAT block, as you can see, if you hold your sprint button and press Y, it'll give a more aggressive one that is more prone to fouls, but is much better at stopping offensive players who are going in for the dunks and stuff like that. On top of that, too, I want to give you guys another gem. I am a fan, and this is a big myth thing in 2K, or I guess it's a placebo. To me, it truly is a fact though. If you hold your Y button or hold your triangle button when going for blocks or rebounds, anything like that in this year's game, I am a big believer of the fact that you get better, more elongated jumps. Simple as that. So I pair the SWAT block mechanic of holding RT and pressing Y, except I hold Y, and I believe it works way better. Now also on top of that, we have the vertical contest. This works in a much more conservative way, where if you hold your left stick away from the shooter, or as I would explain it, if you hold your left stick toward the hoop and then tap your Y button for the block, you're going to jump up more ways straight up. Simple as that. It gives a much better contest, I would say. I like this for defending close shots and standing layups because you can get much better jumps in succession. So let's say you pair this with pogo stick, for instance. Having the vertical contest in your bag, in your repertoire, will be extremely useful for you, because you're not only going to have to contest him when you go for that standing layup contest right there, but on top of that, as you can see by the animation that animates in here, you can see he actually doesn't get the offensive rebound because you have to be able to actually get ready and jump for the next one. Now that's the whole point. You can see in that clip right there, he doesn't exactly jump again for the rebound, but that's the whole purpose and explanation I would give. When you go for that vertical contest, it is the thing that is going to allow you to jump again for the rebound. And it's really convenient once again when paired with pogo stick. Another thing I want to talk about is pulling the chair in the post. Now it says to just tap B when being back down. What I like to do is move my left stick and tap B at the same time. So maybe this is a thing that, like, for instance, to pull the chair in previous games, you would just move your left stick toward the basket or away from the post up player when they actually try and back you down aggressively. So as soon as you see them go for the back down, you want to move your left stick backwards or toward the hoop. But that's not how it works anymore. As you can see, you have to tap your B button when doing it. I would advise to do both, personally. I really do think that's how it works, but to be fair, it's not what the mechanics of the game actually say. Nonetheless, though, the whole point that I want to get at here is going to be the shot blocking stuff that we get into these clips right here. And then we'll talk about some bump steals eventually. But once again, just wanted to talk about how the pro stick steal right here, as you can see, it advocates for you flicking down on your stick to go for steals. It is going to be something that gets more plucks, I would say. It doesn't put you straight into the steal animations, but this one definitely jars the ball loose a whole lot more. It's just, I'm not really a fight through lock in this year's game. I've never played on a build that had 99 steal with Hall of Fame glove. I'd probably be doing this a whole lot more if I was. Or for instance, maybe you have a backside pick and roll defender playing with you as well, where you have more help defense you can deal with. For me, I play a lot more conservative, don't really go for on-ball steals quite as much, but it is definitely ideal. But as you can see, there's multiple ways of going for steal. It advocates for X button and down on your right stick as well. All right, so into clip set number 2. A lot of these clips that I'm going to showcase are more for highlights and stuff. There's not going to be as much breakdown, but as you can see, I am winding up for these. I am holding my Y button all the way. Simple as that. I really do advocate for it too. It's unbelievably reliable. You can see, not only to mention too, maybe things nobody wants you to know on defense version number 2. So you get more takeover for things that are related to your takeover. So for instance, if you are more of a shot blocker, let's say for instance, or you have good anchor alone paired with rim takeover, as you're going to see right here, goes super hard for your takeover. So we ran a lineup right here where we have 3 6-1s on the court. We got a guard right here, and a guard right here. Then it was me and Apollo right here playing corner and corner, playing like a 3-2 zone. So, and I know it's rec center. I was grinding for the levels at the beginning of the season, trying to hit 40, and I overestimated how hard it was going to be. But anyway, as you can see, the takeover is unreal paired with double rim take and then gold anchor. If I had Hall of Fame, I think I would actually get this as well. Not to mention, I do have accelerator obviously on top of that, but nonetheless, my whole point is running double rim take goes so hard. And honestly, I believe that there's like phantom little boosts as well. This is a thing in 2K where if you have, like, say for instance, rim take and rim take right here, you don't have to be all the way up to rim takeover to get the attribute boost. If you guys want to check out the video, I made one explaining every attribute boost that you get for every takeover. Long story short is, when takeover is activated with rim take on, it gives you a +8. So it does go a long way with that. But my whole point right here is I'm still getting a +2 or 3 like boost to my takeover for like shot blocking and stuff like that. Maybe like more of a +1 on everything else that's not related to that. But nonetheless, as you can see, again, this is me holding Y, going for that block. And also you can see kind of a high-low situation right here. I want to maybe explain like situations and stuff too. So as you can see, with this being the side of the court that has more defenders on it, this is much more capable of playing a 2-on-3 right here. So for instance, we could have one guard play between two right here on a shooter up top, and then we could also have the corner maybe play between corner and wing right here. And it's as simple as that. It's a 3-on-2. The spacing is really bad. This is the side we can rotate off of a whole lot more. This side is really strict, like strictly stuck playing like this. So if you're ever playing someone up top, or maybe let's say for instance they could go about that the other way, where you're someone in the corner that can drop right here, and then for instance I could play between two defenders right here, and then our guard right here could play between two that way. Whichever way you want to move about these 2-on-3 situations, as you can see, it's a very, very important thing to do, because this is how you lead to free buckets. I hate seeing stuff like this. As a small guard somewhere on the court, you need to also know to run wherever the rotator can be. So in this situation, you're trying to rotate out to the top so that I can then go drop down. Simple as that. But once again, I'm holding my Y button, going for the super extremely like crazy lunge block right there. And as you can see, again, double rim take, going hard, getting my full takeover. Right here, you can see once again, I'm holding Y. In my opinion, a much higher jump as far as the verticality aspect of it. They finally get their first points in the game right there too. Again, a lot of the clips you're going to see in here are me playing full squad rec, so I do understand it's a lot easier for me to play like this, where it's going to be a lot more rotation based. I do play with stream a whole lot more though, and in those situations you're going to be playing a lot more like one-on-one block situations like this, for instance. And again, I honestly think that when it comes to whether you jump or play hands up D in the paint, you got to just be very instinctive with it. Right here, let me take you through the mind cycle of an offensive player. Right here, he's thinking dunk. Dunk, 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 dunk. I got the ball in great position. I'm going up with it. Unfortunately for him, he gets a horrible animation, and that'll happen to a lot of people, to be completely real with you. And that's my whole point. He gets a horrible catch animation, but it is what it is. He had great position on me. So in my opinion, I believe he has to go up with that. And I'm just going to jump at pretty much anything I see as soon as he takes up off the ground. Not to mention, if you look at the clock, it's 6.1 left. He's not going to feel so confident about just pump faking all over the place, because if he ends up with no shot right here, not to mention that he has been in the paint for a little bit as well. So you already have to worry about 3-second violation. So let's say for instance, boom, here it goes. Like, it's already counting. He didn't get to reset out the paint. So when he was trying to reset out the paint, it's already too late. He has no opportunity at staying down there because he knows the clock is ticking on this. So take all of these things into account, because it really does play a big factor. You got the fact that he's already been in the paint. He had great position on this. He is going to be trying to go up with that, straight up, simple as that. And as you can see, I'm playing for the great like jump block, simple as that. He gets an open on that, by the way, which is pretty crazy. I'm not going to lie. That is kind of tough. But nonetheless, I still block it, and that's what we needed to do. Then we get out in the transition and get some points right before the clock ends. Now, on top of that too, I want to talk about maybe shot contest and the closeouts and stuff like that too. Because something that you really have to worry about in this game is the catch and runs. So you don't want to contest too hard to the point where you throw a hand up at somebody as you're running out to them, and then boom, they're just going to be able to preload it. And the thing about the catch and runs are, as soon as you catch it and go one way, you move extremely quickly. So when closing out on defenders, or people that you're defending, I should say, you need to make sure that you don't overrun. As you can see right here, I still do overrun, but I do see the fact that my movement is going way too hard that way, so I need to recover back to the paint. I still get a pretty decent cutoff. I'm still able to get a really good block animation on him. I will say you need to be a little bit less aggressive than I was in that clip right there if you're someone that doesn't have as great of recovery defense. On this build, I have 93 block, 87 vertical, and gold anchor. That goes really hard. I'm sure you guys have seen with a lot of the clips right here. The vertical and anchor, it goes extremely hard. I want to show also a couple of clips where, again, vertical, in my opinion, goes really hard right there. On this one right here, you can see I get an assist, and that leads to me getting takeover. Now, someone on the court right here gets streaked up on. Now, you're going to see, I'm trying to track this thing down, and as you're going to see, I popped my takeover to actually get the block. Now, the reason I'm doing that obviously is for more speed, more block ability, all types of stuff like that. If I could have popped it right here and known, like if I would have already known what was going to happen in this clip where I'm going to try and chase him down, track him down, I definitely would have like popped the takeover sooner. But as you can see, I popped the takeover like right here, and as you're going to see, I get a way better chase down and jump animation and gets me straight into that play. Again, slash take has nothing to do with shot blocking, but it has a lot to do with vertical and speed. So that stuff goes really hard. Obviously, passing lanes, I'm not going to sit here and explain way too hard. I mean, realistically, this is just something that you just kind of have to play instinctively on. Right here, this is me just playing off my other teammate. IQ is hawking these lanes right here to this guy that was closest. So now he's looking to his second read, and as you can see, I'm knowing that he's kind of trying to target me right there. All you have to do, essentially, is just move into this while also tapping X. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, but lanes are probably one of the hardest things to coach somebody on, if I had to put it like that. Not to mention, I'm not the most unbelievable passing lane player ever. I definitely put myself in positions to get easy ones where I definitely like am in that aspect a lot when it comes to team prime as well. But reason I wanted to show this is we end up in another situation on defense where boom, I play a passing lane in that one clip. Now IQ, as you can see, once again, like really running out really hard to the corner right here, and this is where maybe you have to play off your teammates a little bit more as well. So IQ probably didn't have to jump at this if we're being realistic. He has lock take. He could probably ghost contest it. He could probably do anything to like deal with it. But at the end of the day, we are up by like nearly 30. Either way, it doesn't really matter. But you want to react to your teammates as far as defenders go. So obviously, if he jumps at that 3-point line, this guy really wants to go. Now, defending slashers. Let's talk about this. This is where I really do want to segue this part of the video, talking about defending slasher type builds or people that are running and dunking. You cannot be underneath this rim. Like picture like if you throw your hands up right now. If you're on this side of the rim, you mean absolutely nothing to the defense. If you're on like the back side of the rim and just thinking like, oh, I'll meet him at the hoop, I'll just put my hand up and block it. That's not how this works. You have to run out a little bit further. As you can see, I jump a little bit early on top of that too. If I really wanted to explain this like to the best ability for you guys, I think the sooner you meet them on the perimeter and stop them from getting like close to the hoop, the better when it comes to defending slashers. Nonetheless, like you can see, I jumped extremely early before he even like really takes off way super high into the air. And as you can see, meet him, boom, get the snatch block. We're going to talk about that with a lot of these clips as well, about the whole defending like a slashing player. Once again, you can see I'm cocking that thing back and like loading up my block before he even takes off right here. I mean, I can see this coming from a mile away. And Tonic's got a lot to deal with down here in the paint. He's got a cutter. He's got like to help for the drop. He's got to even still play for the rebound, even if this guy misses it. So you need to understand in a lot of situations, sometimes you do need to come in here and help that stuff. So I'm just putting it like this. You can see I'm loading up that block before he even goes up with it. Watch mine versus his. Let's go ahead and pay attention to where he is when he's already even starting the dunk. I'm already in the air, flying, bro. And as you can see, meet him and send that thing into the out of bounds. Simple as that. Honestly, I really do advocate for that. I think the sooner you jump, the better. The more further out from the paint you jump, the better. And it can definitely defend slashers in a much better way. And then right here, defensively, again, IQ misses on the lane. I'm at least sending a little bit of fake help right there. And then as you can see, flying in. Holding Y button again, the double slash take is almost activated, so my vertical is going crazy. I will give you guys that much. But again, holding my Y button early before he even goes in for that dunk. You have to do stuff like that. Now, I have ways of countering this as a slasher as well. For instance, in this situation, if I saw someone was going to fly in here right at me, I would probably either A, dunk meter, which can definitely overcome some paint defensive help a lot of times, or B, go ahead and just sit below the basket and let him fly by me going for that chase down, and then I would just literally not even go up with anything, wait for them to fly by me, make a read, or just go up with a standing lay if it's even more open. So there are counters to this. You can definitely end up looking like a little bit more of an idiot if you go flying by people on every block attempt you go for, but generally people are so hungry for dunks in this game. Like, they think it's so easy. Like this right here, this dude thinks he's getting the easiest take of his life. I see that in my peripherals as well, guarding ball. And sometimes you got to know, if you're the elite defensive player on the court, let's say you're playing with a bunch of different builds that aren't quite as elite on defense. As you can see, I'm thinking right now, yes, I am bailing off the point guard entirely, but the point guard sees a wide open player in the paint. And as you can see, I bail from my point guard and boom, get that shot block on the big man. Simple as that. And now we're on the break as well because of it. So all I'm saying is be a little bit more instinctive on defense than maybe you already are. As you can see, nice lane right there. But again, this is really just all about, like, I see the situation as it's developing, and don't be afraid to just make a play. Leave your offensive player if you really think that offensive player is going to be the one that is going to end up just throwing this ball straight down to him. Because again, he thinks it's a free dunk when he's like already loading up that X button right there. Little does he know, we're flying. We're flying off the ball. Simple as that. Now this one right here, once again, passing lane, you're going to see IQ was taking away this one. This is literally just, it depends on what area you're playing. If you're trying to play good passing lanes in the rec center, if you're trying to be this guy, like if you're trying to be IQ, I say just stay in between center or inbounder and then the point guard. Simple as that. Now, you need to help him a little bit in that aspect as well, where if IQ is doing his job and making it a pain for them, you want to fly in here as more of a safety and boom, tap your X button as soon as the ball is in the air. As you can see, track it. It's a lot about trajectory and timing as well. So as you can see, play the lane. We're able to get the dunk meter off that as well, get the green. But nonetheless, you guys get what I'm talking about. You got to just play your roles on defense when it comes to the passing lanes. Simple as that. Okay, so obviously really cool block right there, but it doesn't really require too much explanation. I want to talk about this one right here. So what you're going to see is the ball is being shot and it's ending up as a rebound for this guy right here. You have to know some situations as well. So in this one, you can see, for instance, we have a lot of people running on the break. We got a lot of them running on the break, including even like our point guard right here. Nonetheless, Tonic is in the paint. He's the big man. I am defaulting to the fact that I'm assuming big man will stay paint and I need to find somewhere on this wing to play the lane. So as you can see, I'm defaulting to the corner first and I will move to the wing if needed, but I'm just trying to fill into the corner, simple as that. And as you can see, we tap the X button right here, play an unreal passing lane. I mean, look at this one. This is fire. Hit the little 360 passing lane on that. And again, that's with Gold Interceptor. You can do even more than that with the Hall of Fame Interceptor and as a pure lockdown as well with 99 steal rating. Nonetheless, my whole point is find some work on defense when it comes to offensive rebounds. Simple as that. Now, for one to maybe talk about for Pro-Am, I don't know how into Pro-Am you guys are, but I do want to talk about maybe fives, rotations, and stuff like that. So this is triangle. I know we're kind of segueing into more of a complicated way of playing the game, and this definitely is the comp stuff as well. Some of the better players on the game, Montclair right here as well. But nonetheless, as you can see, this is going to be something where triangle allows for versatility depending on your lineup. Right here, me and IQ have 2-6-9s. We are very versatile in the defensive sets, yet we still have Tonic as a big man who can rotate down as well. Now, the whole point of triangle is that IQ will take ball no matter what right here, and whoever is the closest side to the corner rotation will be the one to bail out to the corner so that the big man can drop. Point being though, if I was in the lane a little bit better right here, Tonic would stay put and not rotate, and I would be in the lane. But because I feel like I'm in bad position and I want to bail out of this, I'm now playing corner lane and Tonic is down to the paint and playing the pick and roll D. You can see I try and reset it and bring Tonic back up to the P&R, but nonetheless, it doesn't really help them that much. We still get a great contest on it, and long story short, that's just the best defensive rotation for beginners in my opinion in the game. Triangle is unbelievably easy, especially if they play with an inside big man and someone who can't pop. Not to mention, if he was a popper though, our versatility on defense allows us to really deal with that. So for instance, if he did pop out to the right wing, we're just playing sides. Simple as that. IQ takes left, I take right. If the big man pops out here, I got him. If the big man like pop slips to the top or something like that while the guard's moving right, I got guard. IQ would take the big man pop slipping to the top. It makes it really easy to guard if you have very big versatility on defense, which is why I love the way we play with these 6-9s between me and him. So just wanted to maybe segue into that good Pro-Am explanation right there as far as how triangle works and give you guys that breakdown. But back to the clips. Once again, holding Y for the blocks. Simple as that. You know, these are just more highlights and stuff. Going for the chase down again. I'm holding Y on every one of those. It goes so hard, bro. It's so good. Now, again, let's talk about on-ball defense a slight bit while we're at the end of this video. So you can see, once again, for twos, this is actually the first twos game of the day that we even played. It's actually the only one because we just wanted to get AK his extra level to be able to get to like 26, 27, something like that just to end the day. But nonetheless, my MO on 2v2 and 1v1, if it's a make it take it court, I am making them shoot the ball. You do not want easy dunks going off all game. So as you can see, making him shoot. He goes with a horrible take and bailout will happen. As you can see, 2 of them in a row. Most stupid mechanic, stupid badge in the game. Nonetheless though, I'm still doing the same thing. Make him shoot the ball. Cut him off. Simple as that. He goes for another layup right here. I get a decent jump animation. It's not great, I will say. Stuff like this will happen sometimes. Not to mention, I'm sure a lot of you guys may run into some small guards that end up driving at you in this game. Giant Slayer is ridiculously overpowered, so if you're like a 6'9" or 7 foot tall player or something like that, and a 6'1" point guard just drives in at you and makes some BS 30% layup, just keep in mind that Giant Slayer, Fearless Finisher, and Acrobat all go really hard paired together, and for small guards it's even worse and more annoying. But nonetheless, just talking about on-ball D, again, he's in the corner. I think he might want to shoot the ball. It is what it is. The hands-up defense makes him believe that we are actually like gonna contest it way harder, but they don't even know. I'm really dropping a gem on you guys right here. Shout out to my boy AK. He's actually on the court right here, and he plays a lot of stage fiends and stuff like that. He puts me on to a lot of cool defensive mechanics and stuff like that a lot of the defensive lockdowns who make this their whole life all know about and stuff. So hands up defense actually gets you more body ups in my opinion, and I really am starting to be a big believer in that. As you can see, the court shrinkage from everybody else goes really hard right here too. They see me potentially getting dropped on as well, so they end up playing a little bit more drop as well, and as you can see, it really makes it a lot easier to go for this block and this chase down. Nonetheless though, just wanted to make sure you guys know the hands up defense is actually a very good tactic in this game. Just make sure you're not flicking your stick up when you go for it, because it will make you fly out to somebody if you do that. Alright, so this clip right here, Tonic actually got kicked out of this game, so he's an AI. It would be really convenient if I could just have him to rely upon here, and if you do have a big man that's actually playing the game right here, you would be able to really just, if I'm getting beat right here, bail out to the top and Tonic can drop. Simple as that. Go with a little high-low look. But as I said, he's not even here, it's his CPU, so this is actually a good example of I get beat on the drive. I hate to give that stuff up, but we'll go back as far as the clip can go. As you can see, I'm doing some dumb stuff, going for the reaches and stuff way too much. Either way though, the closing speed and the recovery on this build is unbelievable, and again, holding Y button is an underrated thing. It's so good. Like this right here, he has a dunk animation by the way, and I literally just fly up and hold my Y button and kick him out the dunk, get a 48% contested like layup, so to say. And the whole reason for that is that he's not using his meter, and generally you're not going to see very many people in this game use their meter. It's as simple as that. Right there, if he did use his dunk meter, he could put me into a dunk and really make me look bad, but it is what it is. He's not ready to do that, and not many people playing this game are. So right here, once again, just again holding Y button, simple as that. I know I have like 5 million clips talking about this, but I really want to explain to you guys how much more like chase downable everything becomes when you do it like that. It's so efficient and elite, and I promise you, if you give it a try, you're gonna love it. Anyway, now let's kind of segue into this part of the video where we talk about stealing the ball. So this is going to be a big one as well. So as you can see, I have my like inbound defender right here with Apollo. He's on a 6'11" that has lock take. He's on his right. This guy does not want to run into him, who's on the right. But as you can see, I'm playing his left extremely hard because this guy's not a scoring threat yet. Also, by the way, it's going to be a really long video, but I just want to convey all these things to you guys in this one video because it's supposed to be the masterclass of defense. Nonetheless though, my whole point, I'm playing his left because he wants to stay away from Apollo, and as you can see, he moves to the right really hard. He goes for the bump steal opportunity right here, doesn't get it. Nonetheless, he is flustered right now. He's trying to stay away from everybody who has a hand near him. So as you can see, hand near him on the right. I try and play his left. He knows I'm coming there. Now he's trying to get away from that. Now he sees the hand on his right. He doesn't like that either. So now I'm coming in here for the bump steal on his left. Don't get the bump, however. I get the pluck, but nonetheless, the ball is exposed. Now I'm in that exact same situation, as you guys can see, because Zeke's over here flopping, making fun of him, I guess. But nonetheless, my whole point here is that I am aware of the fact that I'm going to have pressure around me. So I'm backing up, staying away from all that, because as you can see, you really want to stay away from people, simple as that, when you have a man down and not a scoring threat. So you want to sit here and wait for everybody, and boom, now all the 2 defenders and the 2 offensive players on my team are scoring threats, and that's easy to deal with. Once again, holding that Y button for the chase downs goes hard, but we're going to get into the bump steal portion of this video, and that'll be all. Alright, so this is a gameplay that I used a couple of weeks ago. It's going to be just 100% tailored around bump steals. So this attack size up is going to be something that you see a whole lot of. When you are playing against an offensive player who's running a lot of ISO, you generally are going to want to actually force them one way and potentially like react to where their offhand is too. So for instance, right here, I'm already knowing pretty much any move he's going to do besides a stop and go. So just keep this in your, I would say, encyclopedia of defensive player. As a defensive player, the only thing you have to worry about toward this ball hand is going to be a stop and go, so they can just literally sprint this way, simple as that. Now, my explanation on that is very reasonable to the point where it's as simple as this. If they do that stop and go, and I'm planning for them to play to the left right here, let's say they did a stop and go instead, I can just boom, react, run back, simple as that, meet him on the drive. If he tries to hop back on me, I'll play for the contest, simple as that. But right here, as you can see, I'm going for that bump steal because I'm already expecting he's going to do some move to his left, and I like to really play for that. So we get the bump right there. Now, there's going to be a lot more clips in this video. We'll go ahead and just skip to every defensive possession. So right here on this very next possession, what I really want to also explain when it comes to on-ball defense and going for bump steals too, if you're playing someone who runs ISO, push them to the side of the court that has less room. So right here, you can see I'm literally walling him off. No left for you, my boy. It's as simple as that. He's going to have to either drive, and I'll be able to pick that up myself, or he'll have to move to the right and get a really peak shot right here. Can't really deal with that. Not to mention, if Zeke were playing better, I would say team-friendly defense or anything like that, not to mention he's a small guard, so he can't really do too much fronting of the corner, else he'll give up back door. But either way, my whole point is, we can still get some help from the corner right here, even if I get completely like quickly ran by like a 6'1" that has really good speed and fading and stuff like that too. He can just step out the corner, ghost contest him, simple as that. So I like to box people in to these small, like short sides of the court and stuff like that, and then be able to go for steals. As you can see though, he does beat me as far as like getting past, but either way, get the steal right there. My whole point is you want to box them in into those areas where they can't really go anywhere, and this could be a great bump steal and opportunity. It's just, again, I'm a bit conservative when it comes to my defensive style. Not to mention because the side that would be rotating, it would be a 6'1" guard, and ideally if it were Tonic in that spot, that's where it'd be even more comfortable to go for that steal, because then I got a big man rotating and I can easily get to his corner if he drops. Simple as that. All right, so now we're back on the defensive end. You're gonna see he's hit me with the spin backs and stuff. I try and react very quickly to getting back on this one, so you can see I run backwards trying to take away that rim run right there, because you absolutely want to like key in on that. Now nonetheless, he like walks it back to the 3-point line. I'm still playing for that ghost contest, by the way, or just a late hand up, simple as that. But don't want to overreact one way too hard, because he could just run it back to the top. Nonetheless, he runs back to this right. Now, you're going to see, this is where you get him in the danger zone. He is boxed in super deep to the wing right here. He wants to get way back here, way back to the top and reset. So what you're going to see is, I'm going to anticipate for that. Nobody's walking back, and boom, run back behind him and get that bump steal opportunity. Now, when it comes to bump steals, you want to place your hand quite far behind them and to the side. So you need your hand to be like literally, as you can see, behind his player model and way to the side of where he's anticipating to run. Simple as that. So that's the real key to bump steals, if you ask me. That is the major clip I would show you guys if I want to keep this condensed. So I will do that and keep this a condensed, shorter video. Anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, for to drop a like, sub if you're new to noties, all the good stuff. And like always, try this one to 2,000 likes. If you made it to the end of the video, put bump or put lock or put defense in the comments to support me all the way through. But anyway, that is all. As you can see, we got this guy flustered too. It is what it is though. I already explained pretty much everything I want to get at in this video, so that's about it. I hope y'all enjoyed, and appreciate you guys sticking through and watching all the tips, listening to everything. And I know this is a pretty long video, but there's a lot of gems that we had between the controller settings, the icon switching, the on-ball defensive tips, the recovery with the blocks and stuff like that too. As you can see, doing that in-game as well. I mean, it goes hard, man. But anyway, that's all. I hope y'all enjoyed. And that, take it easy, man. Peace.